President Trump on Monday imposed 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports into the U.S. to the dismay of allies overseas. In a statement released Sunday, the European Commission said, quote, "The EU sees no justification for the imposition of tariffs on its exports. We will react to protect the interests of European businesses, workers, and consumers from unjustified measures." Of the 27 EU nations, Germany would feel the impact of President Trump's tariffs the most. Now, Germany is the fifth largest exporter of steel to the U.S., behind Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and South Korea. Germany also ranks number 9 in aluminum exports. Jeanna Smialek joins me now. She's the Brussels bureau chief for the New York Times. Appreciate you being here. So ultimately, President Trump followed through with these steel and aluminum tariffs, but we did see last week he threatened tariffs on Canada and Mexico and then put them on hold for a month, following the two nations making a number of commitments. So in your perspective, do European leaders take the president at his word when he makes these threats?
I think increasingly they do. I think that early on, I think there were some real questions around whether these were actually going to happen, whether this was posturing, whether it was maybe just a bid in a negotiating effort, and this was just the starting offer. And I think the fact that President Trump both seriously threatened tariffs on major trading partners like Mexico and Canada, even though those were ultimately delayed, and the fact that the steel and aluminum tariffs are back just make it seem a lot more likely that at least more tariffs are coming. It's not clear exactly how much or what these will ultimately look like once they're fully implemented. But I think it has everybody on high alert that this is real. This may be more than just a simple negotiating tactic. And I think that, the European Union has been working behind the scenes to prepare for that, but I think they're taking it a lot more seriously.
And I suppose, during his first term, President Trump issued a 25% tariff on steel imports and a 10% tariff on aluminum imports. To your point that they take this seriously. How did the EU respond then, and what's different about now?
Yes. So back then, they responded with basically a response package of tariffs. They tariffed things like whiskey and cranberry juice and basically things that they thought would hit specific Republican districts. And they sort of ratcheted those tariffs up over time. And so I think that playbook, aspects of that playbook, are likely to be repeated here. But I think there's a big unknown still, a big wild card that we don't have the answer to. And that is what the holistic tariff package coming at the EU in this situation is going to look like. Because what we know is that President Trump has said that he is going to do some version of reciprocal tariffs and that those are going to be announced potentially tomorrow or as early as tomorrow. And we just don't know what that means yet. We don't know what that package looks like. He's sort of recently tied it to things like the value added tax. He's mentioned tech regulation as part of it. And so I think we really don't have a lot of clarity about what that's going to look like. And so I think until we get that clarity, we're not going to get a ton of clarity on what the EU response will be.
All right, Jeanna Smialek, really appreciate your insight. We will be watching for whatever response comes. Thank you.
Thank you.